Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the big old spinning ball of stuff. My name's Jade. This is How to App on iOS, episode 161. Jesus. Gonna be doing some drums and stuff today. Yeah, boy. Howdy dowdy diddly do. I hope you're all doing well. If you're over on Facebook, you are seeing this on the new How to App Facebook channel, which was set up a couple of days ago. There's a link pinned to the top there. If you're not a member already, head over and join. It's kind of like an in-between thing to here to the Patreon. So there'll be random giveaways and stuff, not only that you see here on the show, but over there on the Facebook channel, as well as what there is on Patreon too. So if you are watching over there on Facebook, hello, good to see you. If you'd like to come over here to YouTube, you can come over to youtube.com/JadeStarr or jump over to the website at howtoapponIOS.com, because it's continuously being updated and all that kind of jazz. I think it was updated yesterday with a whole bunch of new playlists. So as you can see, you can actually watch the show live within the website browser. And so I've added a couple of new playlists here. Where are they? Here they are. So they're mastering apps, EQ and effects playlists that are there now. There's also this one, the special events playlist, which has about 15 videos in there. So there's a whole bunch of various special little events that I've put into this playlist, and I'm going to be doing more of those. But let's say hello to the folks in the chat before I get more into that. We can close that out now. Hello to Benedict Stewart, Payer, Scott, Danny Broderick, Joey Helpish, Tom Rochelle, hello. Pete Johns is here with a whole bunch of cadets. And Patrick Chandler, hello. I keep seeing you pop up in my Facebook feed as you know this person, add them as a friend. Should I do it? Gino Therese is here as well. It's Walensky, Darren bit of death metal for you, mate. So hello. I also want to say before I get into it, thank you to all of my patrons, all 21 of you. Pete Johns, Gary Hubbs, Bubba, Greg Hernandez, Stu Cash, Deep Gravity, Patrick Baird, James Barclay, Scott, Steve Kirby, Wall RTB Studios, Lady Redline Straight, Tom Rochelle, Sion, Dr. Zorders, Russ, 8889, Ed Zielinski, Gino Therese, Andy Goldsby, Dean Thomas, and Doug at the Sound Test Room. Thank you all for being Patreons. You guys got to see my show yesterday, which went for, 3 hours long. 3 hours long. And I'll tell you the truth, after I did that, look, it was a full-on performance. For those of you who saw it on the Patreon, I will eventually release it. What I'm going to do with it, I will release it onto the Facebook group shortly. I just wanted it to be like a thing for all my Patreons. So what it was a live performance of my brand new forthcoming album of 22 tracks. It's a 2-hour long album. It's a double album. And I performed the whole thing live. I left everything on the field yesterday, folks. After the set, I couldn't walk. I went straight to bed. I slept for 17 hours. It absolutely destroyed me. My body is killing me today. It took me a good hour to get out of bed, but I absolutely left it all on the fucking table. So I'm going to release it to the Facebook group soon. So if you're not a member of the Facebook group, join there and you'll get to see it. And then I'll eventually put it here onto the YouTube channel. But you need some time to watch it. But it was full on. It was full on. And so this leads into what I want to talk about next before we jump into this app. So I'm going to be doing once a week here on the channel. Hello, Lady Rodeline Straight. If you don't know, go over to Lady Rodeline Straight's channel. She's just released a new video of her singing "We Don't Need Another Hero." And I had the privilege of mixing and mastering the song for her that she's just uploaded onto YouTube. So go over there and have a listen to it. It's really beautiful. So awesome stuff. So what I want to tell you about, guys, is once a week I've decided I'm going to do a show here on the channel about performance, your creativity, your writing skills, confidence, inner demons, all this kind of stuff that'll help you get the best out of yourself to perform and create music, be it singing, be it playing guitar, be it whatever. It's not so much focused on the technical side of the abilities, but those demons that sit on our shoulders telling us that we suck. All right. So that's what this little series is going to be about. It's going to not be at this time. Okay. So it's going to be earlier. It'll be one day a week. I think I'm going to kick it off tomorrow. So it will be probably 2 hours before this usual time. And once a week I'm going to do this. And tomorrow we're going to probably kick it off. And it's going to be about these demons, about, the unnecessary fear that we have. We place within ourselves, and how to break those chains, how to tell those demons to hit the pavement. So yeah. And speaking of which, if you do join the Facebook group, I want to mention, go over and check out the latest video clip that my friend Jessica Jan has uploaded today. It is scorching, man. Just do it. What a beautiful performance. So that will be happening. We'll kick that off tomorrow. So it'll be a couple of hours before this usual time. I know, because most of the people who watch this show are from the US or UK. So it's designed for you. All right. And as I showed you here on the website, I've got this little playlist which has special events. And it'll be in there. And I'll make a specific little playlist for these. And if you want to go back and have a look, the first one that I kind of did for that series was a vocal lesson thing. So, we'll do more of that stuff anyway. Anyway, I'm rambling on, because what we're here to do today, yeah, man, yes, Danny Broderick, the demon keeps telling me to stop buying apps. Listen to that demon. Take a break from buying apps. Darren Danilek says, that's a great idea. Awesome. I'm glad you think so. I hope it will be, and I hope it will be helpful. Pete has named his demon Frank. I call mine fuck off. There you go. That's what I call mine. And every time I address it, I'm telling it where to go. It just makes sense to me. So we are looking at today a app called Rock Drum Machine. Now, I've looked at two previous apps from this developer, Soft Drummer and Funk Drummer. So if you watch those shows, the actual interface is very similar, but the developer of this one has actually gone ahead and made some updates. So made some updates to the app, allowing you to add some MIDI controls to this particular app. Am I in the chat? Greg Hernandez says, am I in the chat? I'm not at the moment, but I can be. Okay. Hello. There I am. Hello. So, I hope that answers your question. So he's made some changes to this. He's made an update. And let's jump into it. So basically what we can do with this, so there's two versions. If you have a look, like with all shows, there's a link to these apps. I always forget to mention that. There's a link to the apps in the description. But see, I nearly forgot too. So if you watched yesterday's show as well, we looked at Radio Unit. Yeah. This cool little radio station thing. If you didn't get a chance to have a look at that, go back to yesterday's show and have a look. It's an AUV3 plugin that gives you radio stations that you can mess around with and create really cool stuff. So if you missed that, I didn't want to open that up. I'll quickly show you the kind of thing you can do. I'll just open up the project I made yesterday. So basically you can use an AUV3 plugin to find a whole bunch of internet radio stations and add them to like here, AUM, and then you can pile a whole bunch of effects on top of them, and you can create something that sounds like this. Bye-bye. So why am I mentioning this as the show was on yesterday? I've got a couple of copies to give away of this. The developer reached out to me and gave me some copies to give away, folks. So if you would like to win a copy of this out of the two that I have here on the channel, go back to yesterday's video, leave a comment, and on tomorrow's show I will announce 2 winners of this really, really cool app. Yeah? So there you go. Cool stuff. Thank you to the developer. Very kind of him to do so. But yeah, if you'd like a copy, and you know, if you don't win one, hey, it's was it $3? $3, man. I know it's money, it costs money, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, let's get into what we're doing today. This is Rock Drum Machine, and I'm going to kick off by because we've already looked at the interface in a previous show, and I mentioned like in the description of this. These apps by I'm having a what can I think what the developer's name is? Let me refresh. I'm having a brain melt. This is what happens when you do a 3-hour performance yesterday. Lumbeats. There we go. My brain's back, folks. My brain is back. So Lumbeats with these great apps. So I know people will turn their nose up and say, oh, but it's only inter-app audio. It's not AUV3. I'm a purist AUV3. And that's all cool. But you can still use them if they're inter-app audio. It's still okay. And we're going to start off by showing you how you can freshen up your sounds in GarageBand. Because, hey, some of those drummers are getting a little bit tired, yeah? You know, Anders is getting a little bit like, so today we're going to give Anders the break. I'm going to open up GarageBand straight away before I open up the app. And you can hit go to this section here, so external, and you want to hit inter-app audio. And what pops up here, you've got, now remember when you open this up, you've got 2 different sections here. You've got effects and instruments up the top there, so you can skip between those 2, and you want to go to instruments, and here you can grab the rock drummer and it opens it straight up, right? So there it is. This is the interface of Rock Drum Machine, but you'll notice right up the top here there's this little GarageBand button. How nice of it to be put there, yeah? Because when you click on it, it takes you straight over here to GarageBand. And then you'll notice here in this little fun vocal track it's created, there's the little icon, and you can click back. So you can easily click between these 2. Nice and cool. So how do we get this to match? See, we want, because we want it to sync up, right? So how do we sync this up? So this is what you do in GarageBand. You head over to the little icon up here in these settings, and you head down to advanced, and you want to turn on send MIDI clock. Now that you do that, when I hit play, yeah, bitch. So now the MIDI clock has aligned with whatever your GarageBand setting is in your tempo. So you can change it to 180, and it should. Yeah. So you're controlling the tempo within GarageBand. So don't believe the people when they say that inter-app audio is crap. Sure, the rumors are that Apple are going to eventually remove it, but it still hasn't happened yet. And if it hasn't happened yet, you may as well use it for what you can. So that's really cool. And whenever you click on this little button here, you can head back, and here's all your options. So let's have a look at this app and see what it can do. Now it's still set to 180 here. So let's hit play over here. And now when we go back, it's changed to 110. So you're controlling the rhythm within the app, all connected through GarageBand. All right, it's really cool that you can do that. But the thing is, let's cover something else before we get too deep. Just say you do this, you record. So let's hit record, and we're going to record these drums. Cool, so we recorded that. When you go to play this back now in GarageBand, because you have this setting turned on, send MIDI clock, you're going to play it, and you're also playing it over here on the app as well, because the MIDI clock is still turned on, right? So you need to remembering and start training yourself. If you're using anything that with the MIDI clock, if you're going to play it back, just pop over and turn off the MIDI clock. So when you play it back here, you're not playing it over here, right? It's just a very small tip I thought I'd throw out there, because it can get a bit confusing, especially if you've locked up a MIDI sync with a piano or a synth app or something like that, and you're playing it back, and you're getting all these odd sounds that are clashing with each other. It's because you've still got your MIDI sync turned on when you're playing back in GarageBand. So I hope that little tip helps out. So yeah, the one thing that you have to be aware of when you're syncing up stuff like this through the MIDI clock and you're using inter-app audio is you can't edit the track. As you can see here, it's an audio file. But that's not such a bad thing. Hey, if your performance, what you've got set over there on Rock Drummer is rock solid, and you're happy with that, so cool. You're not going to need to change the MIDI performance. So inter-app audio still is relevant. Don't write it off, folks. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm going to drum it home till the cows come home. Hello, Ed B in the chat. I don't think I said hello to you. Is there anyone else who I may have missed? Say hello to Bubba? I think so. Daryl, hello Daryl as well. Scrolling. Cold Acre. What's going on, Cold Acre? Folks, Cold Acre released his first electronic music track on Create Record Release. Was it Create Record Release or GarageBand? I can't remember. And he's a fucking total death metal head, and I'm swearing again. Stop it. What are you doing? So awesome stuff, Cold Acre. And don't tell anyone Cold Acre's in love with doctor's orders. All right, so let's have a look further at this drum thingy, yeah? All right, so here's the interface. It's very friendly. And what's great about these apps is the interface looks the same across all of these apps. To the left here, you've got your banks. And once you choose a bank, the middle section, the rhythm, changes with the bank, right? And then you can add your sound to the specific bank. Okay, so your sound is the drum kit. All right, so that's your drum kit, and the rhythm, as you can see when you change this, the project down the bottom changes to whatever these are, and when you change the bank, you get a whole lot of different ones. So if you look at funk rock, or if I hit grunge, straight away you get a whole lot of things like Smells Like, Teen Spirit, Come As You Are. So there's a whole lot of like similar beats to things like, Pearl Jam. If we hit this Pearl Jam one here and hit play, and as I said, over here on the right, you can change the sound of the kits. Same beat, just different kits, yeah? Bit of an Anders kit. There's plenty of options there, right? And like anything, there are a couple of in-app purchases with this. There's an initial payment, of course, so this does cost money. But let's just cover this. If you want to try this out, there is actually so So we'll head back over there in a second. So Rock Drum Machine, there is actually a light version for free. It only comes with a couple of drum types, a couple of drum sounds, and a couple of drum rhythms with each one. But it's there for you to download for free to try out. You can't save any of the patterns or anything like that, or create your own banks, but you can mess around with it just to see if it's something that you want to get into, right? And then you can, if you wanted to purchase it, what is the price of it? I can't even remember. So head over to there we are. Rock Drum Machine. I'm so organized, yeah. So organized as usual. Oh dear. Rock Drum Machine Lite is free, and Rock Drum Machine is, so it's $17 USD. So it's pricey, but there's a lot of depth to it. And, you know, it's an investment. And like anything, like I know me and Darren Dunnelook had a fair bit of a chat on Messenger recently. He was looking at buying a new drum kind of thing to take his songs to another level, and he'd watched a couple of my videos and was, you know, weighing up which one was going to be the solid investment, which was so clever of Darren, you know, to weigh through that. And eventually he picked, I think, a session drummer, and I'm assuming it all has worked out good for him in that regard, because he's released, I think, a new track using it, and it sounds awesome. So, you know, don't just always rush in. And I think the motto, what I'm trying to say is, don't just always rush in and buy an app, especially something that costs money and there are options. Weigh them all up. Watch lots of videos on each one and see which one's going to be the best for you. Don't end up like me with bazillion apps here. Look at them all. There's too many. It's doing my head in. So anyway, where were we? Back over here. Let's jump here. So, as you can see, let's just run through some more sounds here. I'm going to grab Mike. Mike and John down here are two of the additional drummers you can grab. So you've got these two dudes. Look at it. This is just Anders with a different name, yeah? Look at him. That's Anders, man. So these are in-app purchases, but I do like Mike. I think Mike's got it going on. He's got a pretty good drum sound. Listen to that. Nice. So as you can see here, when I'm clicking through, you're getting all these different... Yeah, and as Pete John just says here, ignore the 5-star and 1-star reviews. Definitely. Follow the middle ones. Go with the middle ones, because they're your most honest. So I'm just going to run through some of these. So these are your grunge things. We've got rock ones as well. And remember, you can change these as well. You can go in here and so we change the hats there. Yeah. And even if you look down the bottom here, so I've got this little full button. You can click that and it gives you even more of the kit to play around with. So you've got some toms here you can add in. Nice. So you got some funk stuff in here. So this is like modeled off Danny California by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You got shuffles. There's a whole lot of, you know, great stuff in here just to kick off with and then to build on top of. And again, you just head over here to your GarageBand and you can record it straight in. So just do. And you can, while you're recording this, right, you can go over here and you can add in fills and stuff whenever you like. So you've got these little buttons here, so I'm going to add in a fill, and you can choose to have a symbol to end the fill. I can do a fill now here, which will change over to a ride from hats. Now we're onto the ride. Yeah. So this is still recording over on Facebook, on GarageBand. Now I can click it again, and it will go back to hats. It should do. Where do we go? Whoa! And now we're back over to hats, yeah? And when I want to end it, I just hit down here, fill and end. Pop over to GarageBand, and it's just recorded that whole thing. So you have the ability to play this live straight into GarageBand. That's really powerful, I think, you know. And it's says it sounds very, very human. Well, not he didn't say very, very, but I just embellished. Welcome aboard Deep Gravity. Good to see you, my friend. I sent you a message yesterday and you still haven't answered me, bitch. Hope you're doing well, my friend. So let's go back. Let me delete that. Here's the other cool thing, right? So if we delete this track, we can then, all right, play live again. So I can hit record. Let's go. Doop-a-doop. And you've also got up here this little square, which controls the complexity. So it's very much like GarageBand, yeah? How you can change the complexity of the playing. So I can move this in real time. I can pull it right back. So remember, this is recording over in GarageBand too. Pretty cool, yeah? And you can see in the patterns here how that's changing. Oops. It's there you go. You don't even need the MIDI clock turned on. What am I doing? that's only I have it turned off, but that's because like the actual MIDI clock's set to the same thing. But if you change it, that's a different case. So you can see you can play it live beautifully. Really cool stuff. Let's delete that and head back over here. So you've seen pattern. So also as well, you can change the patterns here. You've got a really cool thing here, which I love. You've got a randomizer. So between these, if I hit play, let's bring this. You can even fine-tune the entire drum kit. Let's just stop it for a second. You can actually fine-tune the entire drum kit, yeah? So, I don't know if it's using Ableton Link because it's not It's not turned on. I don't think GarageBand uses Ableton Link, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. It's probably because I've synced it up into the vocal track. But you can actually individually change your kit around. So see how right now I've got mic selected over here. And now when I go to this bit of sounds, all of Mike's kit is selected. So you've got Mike's ride, hats, cross stick, snare. But you can actually go in and change the toms, maybe over to John's sound. And I can change the hats, maybe to gated hats. So then when you hit play, so you can really mess around with the kits as well and build them up to be your own. Also, we're just going along the bottom here. So you've got a mixer. So here you can change the panning of each kit. That's okay, Deep Gravity. I'm only messing with you. I'm just saying hi. So you can see here, even the panning is set. So you can go in and change the panning. You can change the levels here. You can solo out parts of the kit. You can mute parts of the kit. You've got a master. You can give your crashes a bit more volume. You've got some effects here. So you've got a compression, EQ, delay. There's plenty of stuff in here, which even... Wow, how cool is that? That's cool, man. What a nice fill. So even in here in jamming, so you've got this really cool section here in jamming, but you can change the length of how long between each fill. So we can change this to every four bars, and there's a fill. And you've got this jam button, right? Where you can really, it's kind of like you're giving the drummer more flexibility to be themselves. Yeah, if you think about it that way, you're really humanizing the drummer. And when you see I move it, it's the same thing as what I'm doing up here, right? So when I move it left to right, it's actually increasing the flexibility and the skill set of the drummer. And then you've got this intensity button here too, which when I turn that up, you'll see it moves. Oops. Oh, wow. There we go. We just had a crash. These things happen. These things happen. Let's bring it back in here. Yeah, and when it does happen, you just move on. Yeah. So we're going to go to instrument. Mind you, I'm pushing it pretty hard. So there, we've got it back here. Where were we? Let's get over here. Hit play. So these functions here are the same as using this up here. This is just more of a visual look. So you can see these numbers changing below as I mess around with this. And again, what's really cool, all these buttons down here, so when you go to live pads, you saw that we covered before, having a look at these fills, you've got some of these things up here too, like toggle ride and hats. You can toggle it from here without a fill, or toggle cross snare, something like that. So and you can save all these presets. You can add loops into the pads here. So I could, whatever we've got here, just say we pick grunge, Pearl Jam, and we've got mic playing. I can now hold down one of these pads, and it'll now save that to that pad, right? So now if I want to change it to a funk rock rooster, now I hold down the second pad, and that saves that into that pad. And you can keep going along here. And what else you'll notice, which is really cool actually, I want to change this to a shuffle. Hold this down. So that's now this shuffle uprising. And see, this is what has been added. See, whenever I do that, let's click off and come back. You'll see you've got these little C1, D1 things that appear on here. These are the MIDI controls that have been added in this latest update from the developer. So if you've got a external keyboard or a MIDI keyboard controller, you can now hold down that particular note, skip off and come back. So C1, C#1, so whatever you, and you can control all these things. And you can see the fills. The fills are the same too, whenever we come back. So C2, D2, so, and you can actually go into, and I know I'm kind of skipping through some things here, but if you want a more fuller breakdown of these apps, go back and have a look at the last video I did of Soft Drummer and Funk Drummer, because I kind of covered everything in a bit more detail. But you can go into this little MIDI section here. I'll show you how I did that. So up the top here, little MIDI button. You can go in here and you can change a whole lot of stuff in here. So you can decide what you want to, what key you want to be the play button, live pad. So you can set all this up through your MIDI controller. Really, really cool. Yeah, volume, everything. You can mix it all up because it's. Look, I love this function. It's really cool. It's been added on here, and so now just going back to these pads, I can just click one of these pads. If we're playing. And it just clicks through what I've got set. So it's just another way to record live and into like GarageBand or anything like that. Plus, there is the other option, which we'll have a look at now. I went through this in the last video. So let's do that. So you also have this wonderful song mode up here. Let's do this again. And so this is something that's already pre-made, and you can set this up. You can set up as many of these as you like too. So you can actually create a song in song mode. So this is what is preset at 107 BPM when we hit play. And in a song, you can create the whole parts to each song with a fill at the end or a ride. And you can basically map out your whole song. And the final thing will be the end of the song. So when you hit play, let's let it run through its whole track. So that was 1 bar for an opening. And we've got 4 bars of this next beat. Now 4 bars of a change. So a slight change there. And you can see the intensities are all here as well. Now I guess this is a chorus of 8 bars. And I can change this on the fly, yeah? By moving that little section. Into 4 bars here. So you can see it started with the cymbal there at the beginning, and now the end. Bang. Really cool. So you can actually create your parts. Just another way to set it all up and make sure your song's all good so you can play along to it. Make sure it's all nice and set, so you could record it into GarageBand the way I already have shown you, or there's this really cool option up the top here. You've got this arrow that points up. When you click on this, you can export this into tracks. So you've got the option to export this as an audio file or as a MIDI file. So you can still export this as MIDI, even though it's inter-app audio. So you can still do it. So let's do it with the one that we have there. So we're just going to select MIDI, and you get this option here to send it over as a multi-track or a full mix. Now I hope this works. I haven't done this before with a MIDI, but let's do it as just as a full mix. So we'll click that, and then if I'm going to hit export, let's see what it does. So I'm going to save this into, where can we save this? Save this into, let's put in audio share. I'm pretty sure audio share can. So look at that. There's the MIDI data. All right. So it saved that song as the MIDI data. Now who knew that you could actually look at MIDI data in audio share? How much cooler did audio share just get, folks? BeepStreet. So now I should be able to go into GarageBand, we hope, and whoops, move this back to the start. Go over here and select Files and hit Browse Items, and we want to look for Audio Share. Go to Locations, Audio Share, should be the top one. I think that's it, yep. And what was it called? My Song. God, there's probably going to be a whole heap of things called My Song. What was it called? Because it's a MIDI. Where's the MIDI? Where is it? I can't find it. What was it called? I have to go back. Professional stuff here. So My Space Song Multi. My Song Multi. There, so there's the MIDI file. So we should now be able to drag this over. It's put it here on a keyboard track. Oh, that sucks. Can we put it on a drummer track? I don't know. I don't even know you can do that. This is the first. I'm doing it live, folks. There's got to be a way to do it. Can we create a? We should just be able to create, a drum track, and then drag it. Oh, it doesn't let you. Well, that's poo. But I guess you could. So GarageBand, you can't. I'm guessing, unless you guys can find another way. I don't have time to. Because I don't think you can create a drummer any other way. So that's poo. But you can do it in other programs. So think about Cubasis. So think about Audio Pro. Anything else that lets you. Hey, GarageBand. Hey, Apple. How about you let us do shit like this? See, this is another. So Pete just did a show earlier of things we'd like to see in GarageBand. I'll tell you what I'd like to see. The ability to just do what I did then. Because that doesn't make sense that I can't do that. You know? Doesn't make sense. So, but there is a solution around this. So, but check this out. Let's see. We'll delete that track. And what we'll do now, we'll go back to, go back over here. I did this in the last show, but we'll do it again. Yeah. We'll do a multi-track. And what's Papa say? Please try multi-export to GarageBand. Yeah, so I'm going to do a multi-track export, but I'm going to do audio files. So for those of you who are like, I want to split my drums up. You can do that with this. So let's do it. So we've selected audio and we've selected multi-track. I'm going to hit export. And now you can see it's going through the painstakingly slow, but very, very rewarding process of exporting these into individual tracks. And you can save these once they're finished. It'll give you the option to put them straight into Audio Share, and it'll put them into a folder. So then you can just import them straight into a whole bunch of tracks, and you'll get 8 tracks of drums already split up for you to tool around with. Yeah. So, look, I know I cost you all a lot of money every day by looking at these apps, and I said to the cows come home. Not every app that passes my nose here gets on the show. I try to only talk about apps that I think are incredibly useful and can take things like GarageBand or the way you create to a place that you may not have thought of before, or to freshen things up, especially with GarageBand, because Apple aren't being that kind to us. They're not giving us, enough refreshers of drummers and especially guitars. So we have to, use these apps to the best of our ability. So I know, what was it, $17.99 for this app? But you don't have to buy those 2 extra drummers. But this really does open the door for you to really take your music to a different place. And with these apps, so I told you there's a soft drummer, funk drummer. This is a rock drummer. Look, I would love it if he would create a death metal drummer. I'm going to email him today, because I normally email the devs after I do a video and say, can you please do a death metal drummer? Please. Man, how many of us death metal heads would kill for something like this? It would be brilliant, man, because not everybody has the time or the ability or know how to write drums. So things like this just makes it nice and easy to really create pro sounding stuff. And I know I'm talking a lot of shit at the moment. You may think it takes a bit of time for this to happen, yeah. So I'm definitely going to reach out and see if we can get it. Man, I'd pay a lot of money for a death metal drummer, you know. Just generic metal drummer, but with the ability with a few styles: death metal, grindcore, you know, doom. Fuck, oh man, I'm getting excited here. Very cool. So as you can see, it gives you an update. So we're exporting track 4 at the moment. So we're halfway there. Percussion is definitely my weakest area. I'm pretty sure there's a percussion. I think there's in the series. We'll have a look once this is done. But I'm sure he's got more than just soft drummer, funk drummer, rock drummer. I'm pretty sure there's an electronic drummer as well. I don't know, folks. You can have a look. Pay and get says export MIDI, import Cubasis, Aurea, choose drum session, metal drummer. Yeah. So I know drum session has metal drummer as well. That's why I was chatting with Darren this week because his music's metal, so that's why he went with drum session. So I've got to catch up, Bubba. Percussion is definitely my weakest area. It's my weakest area as well, too. I'm very weak with percussion, but give me a drum kit and I'll smash it to hell and back. So we're nearly there, folks. We're getting there. What did Russ say too? I saw Russ's comment and it got held. Oh, there it is. If you rockheads. Back in the old days, Russ, I would say F you electronic heads, but I've changed. I don't know if you've noticed, folks. I've changed since I've been doing this show. I've covered a lot of electronic stuff, and that's really outside my comfort zone. Each time I look at something like that, I'm like, yay. Why is anyone listening to me? But, as like we say on here, step out of your comfort zone. It's a really good thing. I mentioned earlier, Cold Acre just dumped his first electronic track yesterday. That guy's, been playing a lot of metal his whole life. He's a massive metalhead. So it's really cool to see people stepping outside the comfort zone because, it's, oh yes, I'm blossoming. I feel like, Bubba said, I'm blossoming. I'm like, what's that Judy Blume book? Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. I must increase my bust. I'm blossoming each day. Are you all bored yet of my yammering while I'm waiting? See, I can't even click off this and do anything else. What I can do, I can show you this. I wonder if this will. So now I have my Mac permanently attached. Look, there's my Mac. It's my iPad and Mac. I have my Mac permanently attached for the show. So I can come over here and look, I can show you what's going on my Mac now. Yeah. So, because I rebuilt my studio on the weekend, which was very crazy to do. And I hope that it would all work again. Thank God it did. So, all right, we're nearly there. We're in the home straight. Look at this. It's track 8. It's exporting. This will be the last thing I do for the day because we've got Joey's show coming up next. And let me just check and make sure he sent me a link to the show so I can paste it in here. And please also remember, Pete's got another show today. An audio help desk show. Yeah, cool. Joey sent me a link, so I'll copy this in a sec. Can I copy that? Copy. Cool. Oh, we're ready. Cool. All right. Now, where can I save this? I'm going to put it in my documents folder. In documents. So I love documents. I'm going to put it in here. And it should. There we go. So there it is there. It's created a little folder with my song, Multi, Rock, DM. And then when we open that folder, there's all the drum tracks. So then we can go back into GarageBand. And so that worked a treat. Lovely. That was lovely. And then we can go. So I want to go to browse over to my documents. Future Drummer. Yeah, that's the one. Thanks, Greg, for finding that. So there's the folder. Here's all these parts. Now this is the painful bit because Apple just don't let you do it an easy way. To go add. So you have to do one by one. That's number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. 8. Oh, that was fun. Come back, iCloud. There we go, 8. Man, I hate that. So now we can just drag these suckers in. So from track 1 to track 8, grab them by the pussy. Did I just say that? There we go. I did say that. Somebody kill me. Let me just get rid of that. And we'll bring these suckers in. So what are we up to? We've done 2, 3. I like to count. 4, 5. 6. Yeah, select all, Apple. They're not listening. They're tone deaf. Throw that in there. See, but these are simple things that you would expect in a DAW. So here we are. So we've added this whole song section in here. And what I'm going to do is just go to this track. I'm just going to delete this track. And let's have a play. So now you've got total control, yeah. I don't know what that first one was. Pretty damn sexy Klexy, yeah? I like it. I think it's groovy, and as I said, if you want to go back and get a little bit more of a little bit more in depth of all the buttons and stuff of this app, just go back and watch the previous Soft Drummer and Funk Drummer one, where I covered I definitely go into more of all of the buttons, the layout, and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd just do that first. Pandagate said the toms sound shit, and you know why? It's probably because I have chosen different, as you can, so it depends on the kits. Like, you've got plenty of kits to, pick and choose and get the right kit and all that kind of stuff. Yeah? Oh, so I didn't even cover this button. So this is your humanizer. Hey, Metalhead Hippie, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Happy New Year. So you've got this little section here too, right? Up the top. This little weird, DNA strand. When you click on that, you can absolutely humanize your entire drummer. So you can change him to drunk. See all these weird. So when I hit play now, let's go. Where's my sound gone? Oh, I know what's going on. It's because I've got it connected to GarageBand. Let's do that. Let's reopen it. So it was trying to play through GarageBand. So now he's drunk. So now you can kind of hear the swing is like, whoa, he's a bit all over the place. You can change it to vague. Thank you very much, Metalhead Hippie, for the super chat. Thank you so much. Or you can make him perfect. So you can really, mess around and make this drummer how you want. You want a drummer who's hopeless and all over the place? You can turn it into a drunk dude. An unreliable drummer who always turns up late and plays shit. You can do that. Why not? If they let you have apps that turn your sound into crappy old tape recordings, you can turn your drummer into the worst drummer on the planet. Yes. Still, you have to admit, even drunk, this drummer sounds pretty good. Oh, maybe not. All right, he's kind of struggling there a little bit. All right, so that'll wrap up the show, folks. I hope you got something from this. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. Remember that we're giving away a couple of copies of Radio Unit tomorrow. And if you want to do that, you can go over to the previous video, leave a comment, and I'll give away the 2 copies tomorrow. Remember, we're doing a show tomorrow, 2 hours ahead of this time slot, and we're going to be talking about confidence and the demons inside that tell you that you're shit and how to begin to overcome them. Yeah, so we've got 2 shows on tomorrow. I'm not sure what app we're looking at tomorrow. Maybe an older app, something that I think is worthwhile going back to have a look at. And as we scroll through, it may be Eventide's Black Hole. Yeah, because I think it's a really cool reverb app that needs to be reminded with people how good it is. So up next, folks, is Joey Helpish, and I do have a link here to paste. Did that work? So there's the link to Joey's show. Make sure you click that after mine and go over and support Joey. And then Pete's got a show after Joey. So it's Monday Fun Day. Thank you all very much for hanging out with me. If I have missed saying hello to you in the chat, I do apologize. I love you all. Thank you very much. Love to all my patrons. And we'll see you tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful day creating, if not creating, doing something that makes you happy, because as usual, the music is telling me that it is time to go. So I must go and tend to other things. Oh yeah. Ba-ba-boom. Love you all, folks. Be good to yourselves and other people, I guess, if you come across them.
See you later, everybody. Yeah.